Hi guys, welcome back to the Pink Chair Conversations. I'm so excited today because we have our first guest in the studio with us. And for people who don't know, this is Vuyi Zondi, and Vuyi runs a very successful beauty brand, Corium. And I've admired Vuyi from afar for quite some time. We basically met online on Twitter for, I don't know how long ago this was, but years back. And we've been connecting through that. And then finally, when I started this, I thought to myself she would be the perfect person to come and have a sit down with. And luckily, she's from KZN as well. So I caught her during our holiday at this moment. So thank you, Vuyi, for coming and joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. I feel like being so cool. Thanks for having me.
No, so we basically, when I called you and I said I wanted to do this, I basically wanted to talk about the whole balance of running a business while working. And it's funny because at that time when I made that request, you said to me you're not working anymore, and I didn't even know. So I think if you were still at work, we would have a whole different conversation. But I think now that you've been running a business without actually having a full-time job, there's more for us to talk about. So I'm looking forward to that. So I just wanted to, if you can just tell me what you did do before Corium, like what was your career then?
Okay. So for me, actually very strange and different to the world of beauty that I find myself in. I'm trained in construction. So my primary qualifications are in construction and property, which I hated. It just didn't work out for a girl who looks like me, who's as girly as I am. So then I studied further, and then I changed careers and I went into management consulting, specifically doing strategy and business improvement consulting. Sorry, the English was running away. But that's just my background. So before Corium, I was in strategy consulting, primarily to SOEs and public sector clients. Nice. Very exciting work. Very exciting work environments as well.
No, I think that's a nice thing because that's what I do, I guess, with my business as well. Strategize for small businesses. So I think that's a great way of starting your own business as well, because you kind of had an idea of how, you know, the whole foundation. So that's really good. So when you did that, how long did you do it for?
So I was in management consulting for 2.5 years, just over 2.5 years.
Oh, okay.
And then I left. So almost when I started Corium, I was 6 months into, I think, consulting.
Oh, so it was still fresh.
So I changed career and started a business. Imagine the same sort of
I'm thinking you've been in your career for years already.
No. Consulting I didn't do for long, but because of the projects and because of how accelerated it is, even for me, it felt long. Yes.
Okay. No, that's nice. So for me, I think the main question that a lot of people always have when it comes to running a business is the balance. How do you find it? How do you get to basically being full-time into work in your career and then starting a business? Because I know when you started Corium, you were making these products little by little at home, for your friends and all of that. So how do you then shift from, okay, now I want to do this as a serious thing, having an online shop, selling and marketing and all of that? Did you have a team? What was basically the way of leading up to that part for you?
So for me, like you say correctly, it started as a hobby. So it was just that, and it was batches, and then you put it on Twitter, and then maybe
Twitter is a mess, hey?
It was 10 a week. So it was still manageable, but then the very first employee I had actually was someone to do admin, and I used to pay them for 8 hours a week because the orders were still coming.
So they would
email
get the orders and deliver and all of that.
Get the orders, put them onto a spreadsheet, and then I would still have to pack them in the evening or whatever, and then write the waybill for the courier. So that's what was the first person. But what that taught me is that then I need a team. So I had a team from very early on.
Okay.
I think a lot of entrepreneurs do the solopreneur thing for as long as possible. For me, it was the opposite way around. From very early on, I had people.
Okay.
And I'd plug people in terms of consulting roles and stuff. So even writing the blog, whatever, I'd just get someone to come write the blog.
To write it, okay.
So I think it worked for me because of that.
Yeah, you were open to giving people roles,
I've always said to people in Corium in the beginning, my role was a project coordinator, I felt. Because I was bringing
other
the
people
different parts together, So that was it, and I think it worked for us. the solopreneur thing is dangerous, I think. So
Very
you burn
true.
out. You also have weaknesses as a person.
That you don't
very
have,
few
yeah.
people that will be good at all areas or all operational areas of a business. So I just thought, let me stick to what I know, which is how to grow a business, how to strategize for a business, how to see the market gaps and things like that. And then I got more people in. The next person was a driver, because obviously I worked. I wasn't able to go to suppliers. I'm not able to, so that was the next person that we added, a driver, and then we slowly built up the team.
Okay.
So to go back to your question, and to actually maybe answer it more concisely, I'm a big believer in teams.
Okay.
So for me, it is going to cost a bit more. You're going to have a little less for yourself, but I think if you're going to start a business that is not going to be wholly reliant on you, you need to
have the
look
team.
at having a team as early as possible, even if it's just someone who does admin and they just answer emails or
because admin is a big chunk of it. Hey, like a lot of people don't think of it that way, but even my admin in the office is a mess, so it's always good to have someone that helps out with that. And then whilst you were doing that, were you still the one person who does your products, or?
So I was, and then we got the soaps. So the soaps, we got a formulator to do the cleansing bars with the soap. So I used to make it. So for me, I would work 5 days a week, and make sure every day I work at least an hour on Corium. So I always used to say Corium is my 5 to 9. So I put in an hour, and then I knew Sunday is a working day for me. So in the beginning, I think the first year or so, it was like that. And then we got more people in. We got formulators in terms of making the products more safe, more shelf life friendly and things like that. So we started to bring in resources for the business.
Okay, that's good. Because obviously you don't want to grow and then still not be able to, when you're growing and supply the stuff, because I know a lot of people struggle with that.
I think everyone was burnt out, because I think Corium was growing faster than we were able to adapt to the back office. So it was just, I had nothing, no social life, no anything. It was just starting to take momentum.
Yeah, and I think sometimes people actually burn out, they make mistakes based on the fact that they're reluctant to actually allow the growth. And while the company is growing, you also need to grow and adapt to that. So I guess your career actually helped you think like that.
I think so. The other thing in consulting, what we used to say to clients is that you focus on your core areas, and those things that you can outsource, you outsource. So even now, things like bottling and labeling is outsourced for me. So I have a partner that I have an SLA with, and they do all the bottling and the labeling, because they have the machines, they have everything. They can churn out thousands of labeled products at the end of the week.
No, that's
Whereas if I had to take that responsibility back into the business,
it'll be slow.
It's slow. It's going to be manual, because someone must put the labels in. It's not going to be uniform, because now there's a human hand sticking on the labels. To get what I'm saying? So you start to look at a business in terms of what are the core activities, what are the things that I don't have to have control over.
Okay, cool. No, I hear you. And then before you left work, did you have to tell your boss this is what you're doing at some point, or when you're starting, like this is what I'm thinking of doing, did you have to declare any of that, like your business?
So I did after a while. I didn't initially, because it was still at hobby phase.
Yes.
But then I also became scared because of social media, right?
Oh, people will know
that this isn't just something I can hide and just be like, Ish. So I had to go and had the conversation with my CEO, and I told her, listen, this is, and she was like, oh, we knew. And I was like,
but they didn't even say anything.
So it took so much courage for me to have that conversation, because I was like, oh. Because I was scared. So they're going to start monitoring. At that time, I was still doing the social media myself. So they're going to say, oh, if this person is answering or posting, it means they're doing it during my time. Do you get what I'm saying? I had so much fear.
But there wasn't any clash with clients or anything?
No, there wasn't a clash. But in consulting, I charge an hourly rate. So I'm a billable resource for my boss. So when they send me to a project, they know that we get 10 Rand an hour for
that.
So 10 Rand an hour for you must be focused on the client. If that 10 Rand an hour, she's now doing Corium, we've got a problem with the client, because my danger is not only my employer, but my client as well. If they find out, okay, this person is running this fledgling business, are they doing it during my time, or my billable time? So for me, I really had to go and tell them.
So they didn't have any issues?
They were fine. And I think straight after that, or just before that conversation, I then had hired a social media resource.
Someone, okay.
Because I think the biggest thing was the vibrancy of the social media, and people want responses.
Yeah.
So that was something that was also one of the roles that we had to get quite early. I think in the first six to 9 months, I had to get Lucy in to do that.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. I hear you. Yeah. And then when you left, before that, in terms of starting the business, I know a lot of people, especially when it comes to products. With services, it's so easy because it's you're offering the service, so you don't really need capital or funding for those things. But for you, when it came to the products and obviously growing and now you being stockers, your products being stocked at big shops and all of that, did you get to a point where you needed to go look for funding? Did you get capital? Did you fund it yourself? What was the whole process with that?
So the business, when it started, was self-funded, so I took money out of my savings. And because I had a good career that was paying me enough and everything was going well, I didn't really take a salary from it for the first 2 years or so. So all the money went back into it. But I'm actually in a funding round now because of the retail migration. So we need big money. So that's it. So I started the funding round sometime in the middle of last year. It's also a lot. Funding requirements are a lot. So I just paused it because I felt like, concurrent to everything happening, this is actually asking for funding is a lot.
All the documents and the process,
the proof, they're trying to project what the future demand is going to be, trying to say to them, if I have a contract.
And are you doing that alone?
I now have someone who's assisting me. My mentor is also very active in that space, so he's also assisting. So he did, and then we stopped because, like I said, I just also wanted to have my ducks in a row because you don't want to underfund or overfund.
Yes.
You want to just be right.
Okay.
So that's why I was like, okay, let's just take ourselves to the end of 2019 and then we'll do this again. Because it's funding is difficult. Having a contract and saying, hi, Notando is going to buy from me is not enough. What if you go onto Notando's shelves and the demand is not there? You have to have such a watertight proof of demand because it's a risk for them. You know,
I think that's why I also wouldn't take. I'd stay away.
The risk of it's just difficult with products. Because at least if it's construction and a public works gives me a tender, I can see it's okay, not a tender for 3 billion, it's going to be dispersed in this manner. But then products is such a risk because even if you get those listings or those contracts,
you still don't know how it's going to do.
That it's going to move over the shelf.
Yeah.
And retail is so dicey in terms of performance that if they look and over a 3-month trend or whatever, they just feel like this is just not enough.
Yeah, it's
they can
tough,
put it. So funding for me, that's why I say I paused it up until I felt that my mental space was correct because it just
it took a lot, but well, at least from what you've been doing, it's still going as you should. You know,
it is. No, I'm very happy with Corium, but that's why I'm saying at some point I'm also cognizant of the fact that we need big money.
To grow.
But I'm also scared about that big money because it puts a lot of pressure
on you as well. Yeah. You know? No, I hear you. So when you left and you decided, you say you've been over a year now, right?
Just a year.
Just a year. So when you did decide, what did you see that, okay, now I can leave? The decision, was it based on the fact that the money's coming in? Was it based on the fact that I need to be full-time on my side hustle now and not full-time with the job? What was the decision you made then? Was it scary to do that? Because obviously we all know if the salary doesn't come, it's very scary, you know?
Extremely scary. So scary, it can never not be scary. But for me, that's why I say to you, the main theme for Corium has been now the retail migration, and I had to be present in that. Even during this year, I've been taking mentorship classes in terms of that, of understanding that to be on a shelf, what does it mean? What is the trip to be on the shelf? What happens at the DC? What happens at good breakages or whatever? So I could no longer be at a coordinator level with my own business. I needed to now understand intensely.
You think you place the product there and then it sells and you're done.
So for me, the other thing, we were fortunate, in April I moved into an incubation hub. So for me, I'm a perfectionist. I don't do something if I feel that I'm not ready for it. So I would rather delay something and do it at the time when I feel that I'm perfect now in this and it's going to be as error-free, if there's such a thing, as possible. So the incubation hub It's been holidays. The incubation hub has been very, very helpful.
Okay.
In terms of where my pockets of weakness as well, because I'm very strong in strategy.
So is the hub basically a growing you as the boss, or is it growing the business? Because I know the business. Okay.
So it's can I say the name? I don't know. It's River Sands Incubation Hub. So they are into light manufacturing. That's their focus. They want to grow businesses that are in the manufacturing space.
Okay.
So they have it's a whole industrial hub that we all do different things, and then there's a professional hub in there for people who do services.
Okay.
But their core focus is on manufacturing. So they help you in terms of clients, in terms of contracts, there's legal, so they do a whole lot of things in terms of helping. It's
nice if it's just an industry-based one as well, because I'm only familiar with more of like business, basically an overall business hub, you know. Yeah, so that's why I'm asking if it's growing you or the business. So I think it's nice when it's industry-based, because you kind of learn a lot more as well.
And they also have so much experience, because there's so many people in there. There's people who are in macro and Pick and Pay, you know, so there's so many businesses in the actual campus.
And you learn from them as well.
Yes, and there's cross-buying as well. They'll tell you, oh no, Tanda does branding. So it's like, oh okay, I don't have to go outside the hub to even, you know.
No, that's good, hey, because I think a lot of, especially entrepreneurs, when you're running a business, it's such an isolated industry, actually, running a business. And you don't get to meet a lot of people. Only time you get to meet is like, oh, I met someone at Starbucks, you know. But Nakona, it's not that much informative, because it's like over coffee or whatever. But in that space, I think it's great because of the different industries from the different brands, you know, different levels. So yeah, it's exciting, I guess.
I think maybe Corium would not be in existence now had I not gone into the incubation hub, because it's a lot. And for me, I don't have a business partner, and it's not because I don't want one. I just haven't met a person who I think is genuinely interested. I think sometimes people come because they can see how far you've taken something, and then they want to sort of latch.
It's just for the profits,
Do you get what I'm saying? So for me, it's been so helpful because of that. And also for them to spot my blind spots, because operationally I'm extremely weak.
Okay.
But I'm strong in relationship building and strategy and in all those things. And to have people who pull in where you're weak is very, very strong for a business. I mean, it's very, very good for a business as well.
Okay. All right. So in currently what is happening now, I know when you're looking from the outside, we see you, your clicks, your take lots, all of that. So which is very exciting for us, and exciting to see that this is how the brand is growing. So can we expect anything? Are we expecting new products, you know, any new masks, any new oils, you know? What's the plan with that? And also in terms of you as Vuyi, are we looking at anything? Because I know a lot of people want to stretch you here and there, you know, they want to learn more from you. Do you think there could be something that you might be offering once you see that, okay, Corium is standing and it's operating, you know, and it's stable in that way? What do you think might be coming in 2020 and beyond?
So 2020 definitely focuses on retail migration, that physical presence, because we have very, very strong online.
Yeah.
Very, very strong. So it's about the retail, it's about the physical presence. That's the main thing, and to get that right.
Okay.
Also is Africa. Africa is very important for us in 2020. So we've just appointed an independent agent in Nigeria.
Okay.
And they have the relationships there. And for us, or for me, the best way to enter a foreign terrain is to do it through a person.
Someone who already knows, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So we did a soft launch now in December, in terms of they have this Glow Kit beauty box thing. So our products are in there. We're starting to create relationships with Nigerian influencers and stuff. So that when Corium comes into the country, at least there's a little bit of familiarity. And even for us, we start to see what they're interested in and not interested in. So that you don't take a whole product portfolio across and you find that doesn't work. So Africa becomes very, very important, and retail. Those are the two things really. I think e-commerce, we're on the strongest e-commerce platforms that they are for us.
Yes, definitely.
Faithful to Nature, Zando, Take a Lot. I think the only one that would be missing would be maybe Esprit Superbalist, but that's from the Take a Lot group. So for me, I still think we're covered in that, but I don't want to over-exhaust that.
Yes.
So that's definitely it. For Vuyi, What is coming for Vuyi? Rest. Please, she needs to rest. No, seriously. So for me, and I think I've conceptualized this enough. I'd like to come up with almost a platform similar to what Ndalo Media had in terms of mentor feed.
Okay.
In terms of just being able to share my learnings and some of the learnings of the people in my network, because I think I have quite a strong network of people in terms of trying to do something interactive around that, and something that can easily translate into social media content.
Yes.
So it's
And that's the easiest way of feeding the whole information as well.
I can't mentor people I don't have the capacity.
I'm sure you're getting a lot of requests for that.
I do, and it feels like you're just this unavailable person. Really, can one person be so busy? So for me, at least I get to put out chunks of what I've learned and what I believe I'm strong in
and that will be very helpful, actually.
Reaches, a lot of people at one point. So that's what I'll be doing, and I think I want to build that and make it quite a strong, almost a female base, but not to exclude men as well, platform.
Would it be based on just being an entrepreneur in business, or will it then be in the industry as well? Because I know, like right now, there's a big trend in obviously natural products, beauty products, hair products, in whole of Africa and beyond. Would it be industry based, or would you just look at it as an overall platform as well?
So I think more overall in business space, I still think I'm very strong in terms of understanding the cause of business and strategy.
Yes.
And I think a lot of small business people are strong in terms of having a passion for their business, but not building a strategy and understanding how do I take my business from 8 units to 800 units. What is a strategy? When we say that a business has an operational strategy, what does that mean? Because a lot of people, when you start to poke questions about the business, you realize there's no business. A lot of businesses aren't brands as well, and that's also problematic because it's things that are strung together under an umbrella of a business, and it's not cohesive, and it's not saying the same message. So I think in certain areas like that, I've come to grow strength, and I've come to grow knowledge in, and so I would like to then start to just teach about business.
No, I look forward to that as well. Hey, like I think we can all I think we can all learn from it. Hey,
have the time. So the prayer we say at midnight is time, please. God,
is that why you left Twitter, because of the time?
Okay, so for me, Twitter, I don't think Twitter is a negative space, actually. That's a dishonest comment. For me, why I left Twitter is because I think there needs to be a clear delineation between who Vuyi is and what Corium is. And Corium
because it was crossing over.
Yes, it was too intertwined. And for me, Corium is not a personal brand-led business. If tomorrow I decide to sell Corium to Unilever, you guys should still buy into Corium. So it's about that. How far in the background am I? And I mean, at times when there's important announcements or whatever, I'll be there. But also, it's just to create that boundary to say this is now a business. So that
do you think you've reached that
formality?
Do you think so?
It will never not be Vuyi's Corium.
You know why I asked that is because I manage clients' social media pages, and every time people comment, like, "Oh, Muslim Sevens Wakosis," and I'm thinking, you're commenting on a business page. Why? And then when they inbox you for certain things, like they just talking, they're individual. Like it's so confusing. I always get so confused, and I don't understand, because for me it's like you can't be expecting when you're emailing Corium that Vuyi is the one who's responding. You know what I mean? Like, but people actually sit there and think that is what is happening, and it's so confusing because I also feel like I struggle with that. But obviously, I can't now hate it because I named my business after myself, so I called it upon myself. But I think I get what you mean when you say that. But I do hope maybe you've gotten to that level where it's like that.
The balance, right? So I think it's also important that it's a Black woman-owned brand. That's a big part of the brand equity.
Yes,
right?
yes.
So you don't want to run away from that. But for me, it's like you're saying, someone mustn't inbox Corium and say, oh, no. So if you look at our terminology and how it's always team, it's from the Corium team, from the Corium team, from the Corium team. I gave the team Christmas off. So even the social media, actually for the first time in a very long time, I was managing it these past 2 weeks. But because our language is so consistent, I don't even think anyone would pick up that it's now not Lucy, it's Vuyi. That's, you know.
Okay.
So it's that.
I guess messaging is very important, I think that's where people mess up, is that they just do it I, and then they forget to go to
team. The Corium team.
Yeah.
You know, if I have a personal message, like I logged into my Twitter on New Year's after I don't know how long to just say, guys, thank you, then I have a personal platform.
Then they must know, yeah.
But I'm scared of just willy-nilly going in and out of both brands.
No, yeah, that would be messy. Yeah, definitely.
And the next thing is if it's on a line and I'm busy twerking, you're like, oh, Corium, you get what I'm saying? So it's very important.
Yeah, and people actually expect that, hey? They do. And it's so scary. Like, I don't understand why people think if you run a business and you're this person, then you shouldn't be, you know, in a certain space.
Because I remember one time I was coming out of gym and it's like, yeah, I ordered a mask on Sunday and I'm like,
wow. It's at night, firstly.
No, but for me, I was like, I know very little. So now it looks very unprofessional because I'm not in that part of the business.
Yeah, you can't handle all the orders.
I just look at the reports and, you know, so I don't even know what the individual orders are. So I'm like trying to think, just like, no, I spoke to you guys and I told you the mask from... Okay, let's just run with this conversation. I'm going to get the information as the conversation goes, but things like that, you know?
No, okay. Yeah, I hear you. But anyways, thank you so much. I feel like that was such an amazing session. Yes, thank you.
Thanks so much.
You're the same. We speak too much, so...
Okay, so
yeah.
Trust me. That's what I'm saying. With the formal stuff, it's like...
Yeah.
So like with more conversational stuff, sometimes like...
No, I think it's great because with formal stuff, I know it's like, oh, I can't say this, I can't do that. But yeah, thank you so much for coming through and making time. And I look forward to that new platform you're putting together.
It's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, I think it will be really, really great. We need more of that information, actually.
We do.
A lot of people don't share their challenges, you know, and their teachings and their learnings.
But I also don't think it's from selfish point of view. I think sometimes people are also overwhelmed with their own lives.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it's that thing of like saying, oh, Bonan should be running presenting let's go workshops or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe she's just doesn't have the time. Maybe it doesn't align with her passions right now. But when she's 50 and the other part of her life has slowed down, she'll do that.
Or she could be building it now.
Exactly.
You know,
so we just need to give people that leisure to take their time, because I think there's a lot of like wanting to pull at your hair and be like, oh, Angela, how did you? And like maybe that person was also overwhelmed themselves and they don't do it at the correct time.
True. Okay, I think that is the best way to close off. Thank you so much.
I was putting it
It's fine. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. If you have any questions for Vuyi, please leave them in the bottom and then I'll share them with her. And if she can respond, we'll definitely respond back to that. Do you want to leave your brand handles and your handles for people to follow?
Okay, so please follow Corium Skincare. It's at Corium Skincare on both Twitter and Instagram. On Facebook, the page is Corium Skincare. You can just do a search and you'll find it. I am only on Instagram, and unfortunately it's a personal page. So my personal page on Instagram is at Vuyi Zondi. No underscore, nothing, just straight Vuyi Zondi.
Straightforward, okay. Thank you so much, guys. Until our next video, and preferably our next guest, because she was our first one. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Until next time.